Yo, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming. In today's video, we are doing another off-season review. I went ahead and did the NFC North, so in this video, we're going to be doing the AFC North. The NFC North video will be linked down in the description, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't. If you're wondering what we do in these off-season review videos, pretty much talk about a few key ads. They had some losses. I will touch on that. And we do also talk about what a projected record is I put together for each team. So starting off here, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals, really good team. They did have some injury issues last year with Burrow and Chase. So let's go ahead and talk about key ads here. Zach Moss, Sheldon Rankins, and Amarius Mims are the three that I picked. Let's go ahead and go down the line and talk about them all. So Zach Moss, you got a cheaper running back because they did move on from Mixon. And honestly, Zach Moss is probably a little bit more healthy. And the way today's game is set up, you do want to have a cheaper running back option. So I do think that's a good move because you might have had a little bit of a downgrade in talent-wise, but, Zach Moss, he's good enough. You've seen how he did with the Colts and is a cheaper option. Sheldon Rankins, the defensive lineman, the Bengals, they got a good trending defense. It's trending in the right direction. And, Sheldon Rankins is a very good defensive lineman. You put him on the interior line, that should free up a little bit more for Trey Hendrickson and some more of these outside guys. They took Miles Murphy. He's supposed to be a good edge rusher. So with him in the middle, it should free up a little bit more for these edges. And then the last guy we have here as a key ad is Amarius Mims. He was a first-round pick out of Georgia, I believe. I think he went to Georgia. But anyway, it doesn't really matter where he went. The Bengals need offensive linemen. They got their franchise quarterback. They got a really good wide receiver. And in the Bengals case, they got a really good wide receiver too in T. Higgins. So you want to get a line not only to protect your quarterback, but to give him time to get rid of the ball, especially because the Bengals are running out of time. T. Higgins does need a new contract, and I don't think they want to pay him. So with that being said, I have the Bengals going 13-4. They know that their time is now because they're running out of time with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Burrow. So that core three, if they're going to win, they need to do it soon. I'm high on the Bengals this year. I could see them, with like a 2-game spread. So give or take that 13-4 record by 2 games. But I do think the Bengals will be a good team this year. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. We all know the Ravens, they're a good team. Seems like they've been good here for a couple of years. So with that being said, they only had one first-round pick, and they didn't have a lot of money to spend. So they only got 2 key ads, but they are some good ones. Starting off here with Derrick Henry. We all know who Derrick Henry is. King Henry, Tennessee Titans, 2K yards. You don't want to mess with this guy. And especially in the Ravens offense, I'm really interested to see how that'll do. You got Lamar now, your mobile quarterback, he is the best running quarterback probably in history. He's probably better than Vic, if we're being honest here. So now you complement that with a legitimate running back in Derrick Henry. That offense should be scary. And then on the defensive side of the ball in the first round, they drafted Nate Wiggins. Pretty good corner here. You can never have too much secondary depth, and he was honestly one of the better corners. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be a first-round pick. I do think he was one of the faster corners as well, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. They have a tendency to develop good defensive players, Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey. So with good guys in the secondary like that, you got some vets to go ahead and teach this young guy. Well, with that being said, I have the Ravens going 12-5. The Ravens didn't lose much. They kept their main pieces here. They still got Lamar. They added a good running back on the defensive side of the ball. They still got Marlon Humphrey. They got Roquan Smith. So the Ravens, they always have a good defense. So I'm not worried about the defense. I'm not worried about the offense. I just think that the Bengals are going to have their number. I think the Bengals know that it's their time to win, and they got to do it now. But that's not saying the Ravens are going to be bad. I could easily see the Ravens winning the division. I could see them having a better record than the Bengals because, the Ravens are a good team. Those young wide receivers, Zay Flowers, he should only get better. So, 12-5 for the Ravens. Next up, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers to talk about. Key ads, you could go the Justin Fields route or the Russell Wilson route, whichever one you want to talk about. They drafted Troy Fautanu in the first round, and they went ahead and picked up Patrick Queen. So let's go ahead and go down the list here, starting off with Fields or Wilson. I like to get Fields for what they gave up. I think that's a good move. Fields, who knows, maybe they could turn him into something. I'm not a Fields fan, But if they could teach him how to get better at passing, then I'd say that's a steal. And then on the Russell Wilson side, you got a quarterback. Russell Wilson, he's not in his prime. He's not what he was in Seattle, but he can get the job done. He can keep you in games. He can give you a competitive chance. So I think that's a good guy to kind of try to have him mentor Justin Fields. Next up, Troy Fautanu, offensive lineman, one of the better ones. You can never have too much lineman depth. He was the first-round pick. And, honestly, the Steelers' offensive line isn't that good anyway. So he should fit in as a starter, I would assume. And I thought he was good based on the film that I watched and taking a look at his combine. I don't see any reason why he would not be good. So I do like that move there that they had in the first round. And Patrick Queen, the Steelers, they are always talked about as having a good defense. They went ahead and got a good middle linebacker. They have a tendency of using these homegrown guys that no one really heard of, and then they just come out of nowhere and they're all right. But I do think that they will benefit more having a good middle linebacker like Patrick Queen. The only problem is I have them going 5-12. This is a young team. They do have a lot of holes to fill. We don't know how Wilson's going to look in the offense. We don't know how Fields is. We don't know how the offensive line is going to look. Troy Fautanu's only one guy. And when you take a look at the wide receiver position, they did lose Deontay Johnson. So now you're counting on George Pickens to be the guy. And they do have a tendency to develop wide receivers, but outside of them, there's really not much there. Next up, we got the Cleveland Browns. Browns, they're an interesting team. This is a team that people have been waiting on to show up. So let's go ahead and talk about some key adds here. You got Jerry Jeudy, Brian Allen, and Jordan Hicks. Going down the line here, talk about Jerry Jeudy first. He was a wide receiver from the Broncos. They traded for him, did not give up much. I don't see anything wrong with that. Similar to the Justin Fields move, you took a chance on a guy that was struggling. You didn't give up much for, and if it pays off, hey, you're looking really good. Because now we all know they're one. It's Amari Cooper. They got a good tight end. I think Jerry Jeudy will be able to complement Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, I feel of him more of like a deeper route guy. Jerry Judy's more of a slant guy. At least that's how I would hope they would run the offense. So I do like the move there. I do see Jerry Jeudy having a pretty good year. Next up, you got Brian Allen. Good center for the Rams. I had no problems with him. He just had some injury issues. So if they can keep him healthy, you can never have too much depth on the offensive line. So good move there. And next up, you got Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks has been consistently a good linebacker. He's not great, but he's good. So he adds another whole piece to that defense. I think this team will go 7-10, mainly just because I haven't seen much from him. This team relies on how Deshaun Watson plays. I think we could see Deshaun Watson come back to playing a little bit closer to what he was doing with the Texans because, he did take a year off. So it is going to take him a little bit to get back into the swing of things. He did deal with some injuries last year, but ultimately this Browns team depends on how he does. If he's out there playing like how he was with the Texans, this team, who knows? They might be able to win the division. Deshaun Watson, at his top of his game, is a top 5-10 quarterback in the league, depending how much you value him. I view him closer to that 5 range. So Deshaun Watson, good quarterback. Depends how he does. But as of right now, I got him at 7-10 just because I haven't seen it yet. But I do think it is coming. So that's all we got for this video. I do plan on going through all the divisions. Go ahead and comment down below what division you want to see next. But yeah, also go ahead and comment. Let me know what you guys think. This is all objective, all opinion-based. So if you see a team doing worse, let me know. If you see another ad that I missed that you think is important for a team, go and let me know. But that's all we got in this video. So if you enjoy, please remember to like and sub for more Madden content, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.